What is travel photography really? In 2024, I decided to make my dream a reality and pursue becoming a travel photographer. But what is a travel photographer? What actually qualifies someone to call themselves a travel photographer? Do you need to visit multiple foreign countries or work with tourism boards or travel agencies? In this video, I'm going to decipher 3 different types of travel photographers. The first 2 are the kind of traditional, well-known paths, but the third one I think is the one that I fall into. So let's talk about the first one. The first type of travel photographer is a cultural documentarian. This is someone who spends a lot of time learning about the cultural aspects of the country, the food, the cuisine, the traditions, the religion, something that goes a little bit deeper than just taking photography. It is an immersive exercise and definitely a labour of love. This would be assigned to someone who would be working with maybe like the National Geographic. A huge dream for many photographers, but in reality, very, very far away. So that would be the first type of travel photographer. The second type would be a commercial photographer, someone who would work with tourism boards, agencies, hotels, travel brands. This is someone who would be probably funded by a company to take pictures for their agency, brand, whatever, and provide certain deliverables on a budget. This certain travel photographer is the type of photographer I think people have in their minds when they think of travel photography, is when you're being paid directly by a company to deliver photographic deliverables for a said budget. This can be a very highly stressed job and one that can definitely take its toll on you, but an amazing way to see the world, and if you're good at it, can be very, very lucrative. Okay, so the third type of travel photographer is probably the category that I fall into, and that is the traveling photographer. This is the self-funded, photography first traveler, someone who's maybe not as interested in the cultural aspects of the country or of the location, but more the craft of photography itself. Now, it's not to say I don't have an interest in history, art, music, of a different kind of culture, but for me, the photography is the first thing that I'm interested in. So to say you could put me in any country, in any location, and as long as I had my camera, that would be my point of interest. What makes photography so interesting to me is the backdrop to where I get to go, and to see multiple different locations, work on my craft, and meet new people is probably the most interesting part of my job. Now, this is not to say that I wouldn't be interested in the other 2 styles of travel photography, but I think that because I run my own business, my own YouTube channel, my social medias, that is where you'll find my attention and focus is gravitated towards. So they are the 3 types of travel photographers that I think exist. With a fair amount of reading online and discussion amongst friends, I believe that that's kind of the best description of what travel photography is at this current time. I think YouTube and social media plays a huge part in the third one, and is a big reason of why I can call myself a travel photographer. But is this something anyone can get involved in? Is this something that you want to do? So if you are just getting started, there's a really good book called Start With Why by Simon Sinek. And it is a great question to ask oneself before starting anything like travel photography or anything of value. Why do you want to do this? If you can answer that question genuinely and truthfully, it will make the process of becoming a travel photographer much easier. The next thing to look at is how much money do I need to spend on this to actually get going? Now, you could be like me and save up a vast amount of money to then travel the world for a year and throw the whole kitchen sink at this. Or you can do it bit by bit. Travel photography can be just you traveling in and amongst your area of your world. You don't need to go all the way to Timbuktu to document something just to show for social media. There are loads of people that might be just interested in where you come from. So maybe document where you're from first, especially if you are on some kind of budget. You don't need to think too long and hard about gear. Just find something that interests you and makes you want to shoot. That's really important. Don't buy something overly complicated, just get the thing that's going to get you out there. Remember, half the process is editing. It's one thing to get out and shoot, but the next thing is you need to learn how to tell your story within your edit. And if you want to learn more about that, I do have a course in the description below, so go check that out. That's called The Storyteller's Lens. And if you sign up to my newsletter today, you can get some money off it too. But the big thing about travel photography is just to be consistent. Consistently show up, consistently shoot. If you're not traveling anywhere, you can still travel somewhere, I'm sure. As in, if you're close to the sea or you have access to a major city, I'm sure there is something that you can document. If you do want more help with this, I am giving one-to-one mentorship, so go check that out as well if that is of interest to you. These are just my opinions. This is what I think. What do you think travel photography is? How do you define it? Let me know in the comments. I'd be really interested to hear from you. And as always, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.